So, quick TA update on Axie Infinity. In today's video, we're going to be looking at how Axie is performing against the USD pair. We're going to be talking about how my past two predictions over on Axie have panned out, and then we're going to be wrapping up the video talking about the Axie BTC pair, talking about the Bitcoin dominance, and how this is likely to affect Axie's performance against Bitcoin. With all that said, let's jump right into the video. So, let's take it back a couple of steps. Approximately around the 3rd or 4th of May, give or take a day or so. There's not an approximate date of when I drew this. I'm believing that this was from the 3rd of May. We were predicting a 51% drop all the way down to $14.41. This was a 51% drop that we were predicting, and as of the time of recording, we have dumped 47.5%, and down to the lows we actually dropped basically 50%. So we've almost come down to the price target. Also, the last video I made for this, we were getting battered against the 4-hourly EMAs, we were getting rejected from the 13 EMA, and we had just started to kind of, we came back down. We didn't break below the 786 at that period in time, but we came back to it, once, twice, 3 times, and then this was when we were like, okay, this is definitely coming into fruition. This was a 29 to 30% drop that we were predicting, and you can basically see, this basically got hit. So I'm going to remove this now. We'll keep this here until we do come down to $14.45. So these two predictions panned out perfectly, but what is the next level down? Because in my opinion, I do not think Bitcoin is going to start subsiding until we do come down to $23,000, which represents an approximate drop of around 17%. If Bitcoin drops 17%, then looking at how Axie is performing against Bitcoin, it's very, very likely that both Axie USD and Axie BTC will continue their massive descent to the downside. Now, right off the bat, I know I want to focus on Axie BTC towards the latter half of this video, but I do just want to kind of see how far we came down from our last prediction, almost 18%. But what I really want to show you is the next level down for Axie against Bitcoin is another 63% drop, considering I believe Bitcoin's going to drop about 20% or so. So let's just round it out and make it even. So I believe if Bitcoin's going to drop 20%, Axie's going to drop, 60% or so against Bitcoin, then that should mean Axie should drop a further 40%. Bear in mind, these are all approximates against the USD pair. Now, yes, we do have a micro 1.618 down here. We don't have any, data traded based on how the 1.618 would be respected yet, because obviously we haven't come down to it. However, the 786 was beautifully respected from this fib, from the low to the high. Perfectly backtested the 786, textbook rejection, textbook double top on the 618, lollygagged, actually broke up, got rejected from the 0.5, broke down, bounced up, 786 rejection, and it very much seems like this fib was perfectly respected. So yes, my next price target is an approximate 28% drop on the Axie USD pair. However, we do need to acknowledge, that my next drop down is a 38% approximate value, or a 38 approximate drop over on the Axie USD price down to $9.62. However, the 1.618 may be a pit stop. So at this moment in time, I would not be surprised, because I kind of see these little mini bear flags playing out. You can see mini bear flag, accumulate, breakdown, accumulate, breakdown, accumulate, and I think we're just slowly stair-stepping to the downside. But I think once Bitcoin starts propelling itself below this target, which is already what it's starting to do, we're massively capitulating. I think once the weekly close comes in for Bitcoin and we're below this pattern, it is going to be basically all said and done, and Bitcoin is going to come all the way down to 23,000 in my opinion. And because of that, we could expect something like this to pan out for Axie, bounce at approximately $11, and then come back down to this target. Now, I really do need to emphasize this so much. Yes, we can bounce on $11. Am I saying that this is my prediction? Absolutely not. So a lot of people might look at this and think, Cowboy's saying we're going to bounce at $11, so this is going to be the place to make a 10x long. That is absolutely not what I'm saying whatsoever. I really do not think anyone should be longing altcoins at this moment in time. If anything, you should be shorting from a position of strength. Like, for example, if we do capitulate below the 1.618, I'm just giving it as an example, we can bounce on the 1.618. I would really, really not be betting on any bounces at that period in time. Just had to make that clear. So 4-hourly squeeze one, this is our momentum indicator of choice, has started trickling over into the light red. This is indicative that a bearish trend is soon about to ensue. And if we pop over to the daily time frame, what you'll notice is there has been a very, very slight increase in bearish volume. And bear in mind, I'm emphasizing the very, very slight, because the volume relative to what we saw, back in this cycle, is a lot more diminished. But nonetheless, Axie has a relatively low market cap, and this volume alone, this flat volume compared to what we saw back in this run, has been enough volume to bring Axie down. I mean, you can see, while we have been having relatively flat volume, it's all relative. There's not as many buyers in the market, there's a lot more sellers in the market, and because of that, we're just slowly trickling down. But at this moment in time, I am thinking that we are going to start picking up momentum. And you can actually see within the past month or so, there has been a plethora of increase within the volume that has been traded over on the weekly time frame. And at this moment in time, you can kind of see that, we've had another relatively flat candle. Nonetheless, we've got a massive red formation carrying us below this bear flag, and once again, this was another major reason why we thought we were breaking down. Now, on top of this price target down here, and why I think we're coming down to 969, there is also another reason why we might be coming down here, because if you look right here, we have a massive M pattern, and if we do extrapolate the price target of this from the neckline all the way back down from, it doesn't matter where to put it down to where we broke down from, because this is a horizontal ray. It's not going to matter whether we put it down here or in the middle. Nonetheless, this is where I think we're coming down to. I think there's a lot of signals that we are going to continue to capitulate. So at this moment in time, I have to emphasize this as well. This is a conservative breakdown target. We can go a lot lower than $9.65. A lot of people don't, or a lot of people might disagree, but I've been saying this for the past month. I've been saying this for more than the past month now. A lot of people have been bullish on altcoins, but if you look at the Bitcoin dominance is going on a rampage, so Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins. If you've been watching people or YouTubers or crypto people that have been telling you altcoins have been bullish, then they're not looking at the Bitcoin dominance, and they're doing you a disservice, because while the Bitcoin dominance is moving up, Bitcoin will outperform altcoins. And pair that with the fact that the price of Bitcoin is going down. For Bitcoin to outperform altcoins while Bitcoin's going down, 5-10%, altcoins have to go down, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50% or more, which is kind of what is starting to come into fruition over on Axie. So at least in the short term, this is my price target down here, $9.50. I do think we are going to have to start looking at some other price targets, because the markets are exceptionally bearish at this moment in time. And it's really not looking good. I mean, I don't want to jump into like a plethora of reasons for just an altcoin video, but right off the bat, it looks like we're entering in a recession. The CPI numbers came out, 1% increase over the past month. That represents an 8.6% annual increase. We've got the next FOMC meeting coming on the 15th. They're going to be planning on raising the interest rates between another 50 to 70 basis points. The last time they did this was on the 4th of May. If we come back to what happened on the 4th of May, we pumped into it, and then on the 5th of May, you can see right here, pumped into the FOMC. Since the last FOMC meeting, we have capitulated 53%. So hold your horses if you are buying Axie right now. The next FOMC meeting is probably going to have a substantial impact on how these altcoins are going to perform. So like I said, I think it is conservative to assume that Axie could be coming down to 961, 962. This is also another beautiful level that we could come down to, $6.07. I don't necessarily want to start talking about the next level down, which is all the way down here at 182. I think we'll take it, one step at a time. We'll see how it comes down to here. And the reason why we take it one step at a time, instead of saying this is where we have to come down, this is where we buy, is because none of us have a crystal ball. None of us know where the bottom is. I don't know where the bottom is. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know the exact date of the bottom. No one does. We're looking at these charts. We're looking at the highest probability outcome, and we're recognizing that at this moment in time, the trend is your friend. Look at the daily EMA ribbons. We've been getting battered against these since $59. If you simply wait for a breakout of, the 14 EMA or the EMA ribbons on the daily 4-hourly time frame, you'll be setting yourself up for a nice trend reversal. And that's what I personally plan on doing. Until we have a trend reversal, we should expect the worst, or rather we should prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That is kind of my take on things. So at this moment in time, it seems like the next level down is $9.65. If we do break below there, $6 could be on the table. And once again, these are not areas to say this is where you should buy because we're going to have a bounce from here. This is not an area to say we have to bottom at $6. We don't have to bottom at $6. We don't even have to bottom at $1.84. The economy is in shambles. The cost of living is going up. The amount of monetary or the amount of money that is flowing into the crypto markets and the stock market is being diminished. We're entering a risk-off phase. The dollar's going up, stock market's going down, Bitcoin's going down, crypto's going down. Inflation is rampant. CPI is going through the roof. There's crazy geopolitical news. Now is not the time to buy play to earn coins, in my opinion. And you know, I've had that same opinion for the past month, and it's been really good. I mean, within the past month alone, you know, like I said, if you're new to the channel, first of all, warm welcome. But you know, you can go back and check out my previous videos from back in these periods of time, because I've kept the same energy I've been saying for a very long period of time now. These altcoins are going to get a lot worse. So you know, my next level's down. Axie BTC, I really only want to spend a second on here. But I was predicting a 69, basically a 70% drop. We're only down about 19% or so, so you know, we've started the move, but we do have about another 62% to go to the downside on this move, so it can get a lot more brutal to the downside before it gets better, especially on the BTC pair. We really don't have a plethora of data traded below the 786 Fibonacci down to the lows, so be super cautious. Wrapping up this video, keep your eyes on the Bitcoin dominance. You know, once again, I know this is an Axie video. A lot of people probably only care about how Axie is performing against the US dollar. I imagine people clicked off the video when I'm talking about Axie BTC and when I'm talking about the Bitcoin dominance. But the fact of the matter is, altcoins follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price is going down. The Bitcoin dominance is going up, meaning Bitcoin's outperforming altcoins. When you compile all of that together, it's simply going to mean that Bitcoin is going to massively outperform altcoins. This is what the Axie BTC pair is saying. You know, this talk of the Bitcoin price, the Bitcoin dominance, is a reflection of what we are seeing, or rather Axie BTC is a reflection of what we're seeing in BTC USD and the Bitcoin dominance. So be super cautious if you're still trading altcoins. I really do think you're setting yourself up for a nasty couple of months if you're buying the dip down on here. So all I've got for you, as always, not financial advice. Cowboy out. Peace.